My name's George, and I am a grateful recovering alcoholic. And I just thought I'd spend a few minutes of my time here today to tell you about what recovery means to me. For anybody that's watching this, I know that my life at the end of my drinking was full of self-hatred, loathing, and a huge amount of feeling pathetic. And I always vowed to my wife and the people in my life that when I turned pathetic, that it was time to pack it in. I belong to a 12-step group, a self-help group, and have done for a lot of years. And I think that one of the things that recovery has given me has been that sense of regaining my love of community, of people. And I know that at the tail end of my drinking, the only thing I ever needed in my life at that time was a bottle, was a packet of cigarettes, was the hand control for the television, and I could lock myself away in a room, completely isolated, and just quietly and pathetically drink myself into oblivion. Sometimes if I had the imagination, I'd put Pink Floyd on and play Comfortably Numb, because that's all I ever wanted to be, was comfortably numb. But yeah, that's what it took me. And the reason that I mention my particular support group as giving me back my sense of community, it is entirely that, because I think that when anybody is stuck in the middle of addiction, you don't need people in your life. You don't need anybody. You just need your bottle. You just need your drugs, whatever it is that you're taking, and basically that's it. And one of the things that I had to learn was to not only depend on people to give me advice, to give me a lot of advice that I didn't want sometimes, but also to be there to help as well. And I think that recovery to me is a twofold thing. It's giving and receiving. And if I can do anything today to help anybody in hearing this message, it's me actually giving back. I have a huge amount of passion for trying to destigmatize addictive disease. I think it's one of the most misunderstood illnesses in the world today. And if you look around at recovering people in general, people in recovery, you'll find fragile, super sensitive, loving people that that have a huge sense of social injustice sometimes. And I think one of the things that we do is we run around, trying to help people in every way that we can. And I think that a lot of that is just to do with the enthusiasm that we get in life. Once we actually get our own lives back, we have this innate need to just get out there and pass the message on. And I think that's one of the great benefits and joys of the recovery movement as such, is that when we get sober, you can't shut us up. There's an old saying in my group, and that is, if you want to know what it's like to be hit by a hammer, go and ask another nail. And I think that that's one of the issues that helps people recover, is the fact that we can actually share with each other, that particular point of pain that we've all been at. There's a commonality there of that one place that we've all been at. And that place is, it's a place of despair and gloom and depression. And that's not to say that when we share that we stay stuck there. We don't. We use that as the point at which we need never go back to, if we do the required things in recovery. I need never go back there, as long as I do the required things in my life, and that is, a lot of that is to do what I'm doing right now, is to talk. I personally have wanted to do this project for many years and get the message out into the public domain. You know, kids in particular nowadays use YouTube and the internet all the time. I mean, that's the medium of today. And I think it's really important that we get our stories out there. There are a million stories to be told, and of how people recover. I'm not going into a blow-by-blow account of my drinking and drugging. I don't need to. It's needless to say, you know, I'm a child of the 60s. I believed in drugs, sex, and rock and roll, and you know, the drugs and the alcohols went. The sex and the rock and actually, no, it's not there either. The rock and roll's still there. You know, the message that I'd like to get out is that you know, recovery from this thing called addiction is not only possible, it's actually probable if you do the required things. And all that you need to do is pick up a phone book and go to the very front of the phone book. It's under A, and I think you know, you'll know where to find help. That's where I found help. I walked into a place one night and I heard people just like me sitting, sharing openly and freely from the floor. And for the first time in my life, I actually heard people talking not only of pain and despair, but also of joy and you know, and laughter, the ability to be able to laugh at ourselves and make light of ourselves. I think that's a great gift. Is to not take ourselves too seriously, and that's one of the things that I like to do today. I love to, you know, look at life with a great sense of ridiculousness, and instead of the seriousness and the glumness that I used to be in. And it's over 20 years ago now, actually, since I was in that place. So yeah, I just want to say that I am not only clean and sober today, I am happy and I'm free today, and anybody that really wants to get their life together can do this thing that we're going to be sharing about on this particular website. So thanks very much for listening.